He used my name to buy a house for his girlfriend while I paid all the bills. When I found the deed, he said, "She makes me feel alive." I quietly replied, "You'll feel something else soon." He didn't know I had the power to cancel everything until, I guess it started slowly. That's how they get you little by little. You don't wake up one morning and realize your life's been hijacked. It's more like you look around one day and nothing makes sense anymore. That's what happened to me. My name's Denise. I'm 39 years old. I live in Columbus, Ohio. I've worked at a credit union since I was 23. I've always been careful, always paid my bills on time, never carried a lot of debt. I don't have kids. No exurbans. Just me, trying to build a stable life in a not-so-stable world. Then came Daryl. I met him at a friend's birthday party. He was quiet at first, stood in the back near the kitchen nursing a beer. I thought he was cute in that rugged, I fix things kind of way. We got to talking about car trouble and music and dogs. He had a voice that made you lean in to listen, and this way of making you feel seen. I liked that. We started dating. A few months later, he started spending more nights at my place than his. Said his apartment was noisy, said he couldn't sleep. I didn't mind. I like having someone there. It made things feel less empty. He moved in officially after 6 months. He brought a few garbage bags full of clothes, some tools, and his Xbox. That was it. He said he worked in construction, but he didn't have a regular gig. He did odd jobs with his cousin. I figured it was temporary. I thought we were building something. I picked up the slack. I paid the rent, the bills, the groceries. I even helped him pay off some fines he had from before we met. Parking tickets, a court fee, things like that. He always said, "I'll pay you back, D. I swear." He never did. Still, I waited. I gave him time. 2 years passed like that. I thought, maybe he's just not lucky like me. Maybe he just needs support. Then one afternoon, everything cracked wide open. It was a Friday. I got off early. Systems were down at the bank, so they let us go around 1 p.m. I stopped and grabbed lunch, then came home. Daryl said he was at work with his cousin again. I decided to do something productive. The guest room closet had been a mess for months. I figured I'd clean it out, donate some stuff, reorganize the boxes. That's when I found the folder. It was wedged between some old tax returns and a shoebox full of photos. A plain manila folder. I opened it thinking it was something old. Instead, I found documents, lots of them. Property stuff. The first thing I saw was a deed. I read it. And read it again. The name on it was mine. And Daryl's. My stomach dropped. I turned the page. Mortgage loan documents, inspection reports, insurance forms. I flipped to the last few pages. Pictures. Photos of a small house. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, brick front, cute porch. And in the photo, Daryl. With another woman. Blonde. Pretty. Younger than me. She was leaning on him, and he had his arm around her waist. He was smiling like a man who had everything he wanted. I swear I couldn't breathe. I sat there on the floor, that picture shaking in my hand, my heart racing. I felt heat rising in my face. Anger, confusion, betrayal. Every emotion hit me at once. I waited for him to come home. I didn't know what I was going to say. I just knew I had to see him lie to my face. He walked in around 6 p.m. carrying a gas station sandwich and a bottle of Mountain Dew. He kissed my cheek, told me he was exhausted. I said nothing, just sat at the kitchen table with the folder open. He came over, took one look at it, and froze. He didn't say, "Let me explain." He didn't deny it. He just sighed like he got caught cheating on a test. Then he sat down and said, "Okay, I guess we should talk." I asked him, "You used my name to buy a house." He nodded. "Come." Like we were talking about buying a new couch. "Yeah, I did." "But it's not what you think." "What is it then?" "She makes me feel alive." I remember those exact words. He said them like they were supposed to mean something. Like I should understand. I just stared at him. "She doesn't stress me out," he kept going. "With you, it's always money, bills, responsibilities. You're amazing, but I feel like I'm just surviving with you. With her, I feel like I'm really living. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just said, "You'll feel something else soon." He actually chuckled like I was being dramatic. Then he grabbed his sandwich and went to the living room to play Xbox like everything was fine. He had no idea. What he didn't know is that I'm not just a woman working at a bank. I'm a woman who knows exactly how the system works. And I was going to use that to burn his world down. First, I took pictures of everything. Every page. Every signature. Every email printout. Then I went online and pulled my credit report. The loan was there, $168,000 mortgage under my name. I never signed anything. Not one document. The next day, I called my cousin Angela. She's a real estate attorney in Cleveland. She was furious on my behalf. "This is fraud, Denise. Big time. This isn't small claims court. This is prison time fraud." She helped me file a police report. We gathered everything. ID theft documents, bank statements, emails. She also told me to contact the mortgage company and report it directly. I filed a fraud complaint with the lender. Then I contacted the Ohio Attorney General's office. Then I reported Daryl to the credit bureaus. Then I contacted the woman in the photo. Her name was Ashley. I found her on Facebook, sent her a message with the deed and a screenshot of the mortgage. I said, "Just so you know, the house you're living in was bought using stolen identity and forged signatures." She replied, "Don't message me again." So I sent her the police report. No reply after that. I let the storm build. Then, 1 week later, I froze his bank account. One of them was in both our names from back when I added him to help with bills. I drained my half legally and reported the rest for suspicious activity. The second account? I knew about that one too. The one he used for his side projects. I flagged it using internal compliance tools through the bank. Suspicious money movement, possible fraud. It was frozen by Monday. I didn't say a word to him. I cleaned the apartment slowly, packed up some things, paid off my last bills, moved my money to a credit union he didn't know about. And then I waited. Because this story isn't done. Not even close. He started to notice something was wrong when his debit card stopped working. I was in the kitchen cooking when he came stomping in, holding his phone. Did you mess with the account? I just tried to buy gas and it got declined." I shrugged, flipped the eggs. "That's weird." He stared at me. "Don't play dumb." I turned around, real calm. I took my half. "That joint account? It was in both our names. I have the right to my money." "You emptied it." "No." I took my half. The bank froze the rest. "Ask them." His face changed. Real quick. "You did this?" he hissed. I didn't answer. Just kept cooking. He punched the wall beside the fridge. "You're crazy. You don't know what you just did." I dropped the spatula in the sink. Walked up to him. "I know exactly what I did. You forged my name. You used my credit. You bought another woman a house while I paid your damn phone bill. You don't get to yell at me now." He tried to talk tough, but I saw fear in his eyes. The same kind of fear a man gets when he realizes he's not in control anymore. He stormed out. Called me nonstop for hours. I didn't pick up. By the end of that week, the house in Westerville was officially flagged. The mortgage company started calling me. I told them I was a fraud victim. They paused payments, launched an investigation, sent a notice to the address, Ashley's new house. Ashley showed up at my door the next day. She was prettier in person. Long blonde hair, fake lashes, skinny jeans, and a Louis Vuitton bag that was probably fake. She didn't knock politely. She banged like she was the police. I opened it. "You ruined my life," she snapped. I tilted my head. "That house was bought with my stolen info. That makes you a squatter." "He said you knew. He said you were cool with it. He said." I laughed. I couldn't help it. "He lied, Ashley. Just like he lied to me. You were the fun girl. I was the utility bill. Now you're just homeless." She stepped back like I slapped her. "You're bitter." "No. I'm free. You're the one stuck in his mess now." She stormed off crying. Daryl was waiting for her at the end of the sidewalk. He looked up at me with hate in his eyes.
He mouthed something.
I didn't catch it. Didn't care. That night, I blocked him on everything. 2 days later, he showed up at my job. He waited until my lunch break. Walked right into the lobby, eyes bloodshot, wearing a hoodie like he thought it would disguise him. My coworker buzzed me. "Denise, there's someone here to see you. He looks thoughtful." I came out and saw him pacing in front of the teller line. "Daryl, you need to leave," I said loud enough for the cameras to catch. He walked up fast. Too fast.
"D, come on.
"Talk to me."
No."
"You have 30 seconds before I call security." He reached into his hoodie pocket. I froze. But he only pulled out a stack of papers. "Just look," he said, almost begging. "It's everything. The deed, the emails. I'll sign it all back to you."
Elite.
"Just help me get it off my record."
Please.
I didn't even touch the papers. "I'm not saving you, Daryl." His eyes filled up. "You don't know what they're going to do to me."
I do, I said.
"And you deserve every second of it." He stood there like he didn't know what to do. Then security came over and told him to leave. As he walked out, I saw the life draining from his face. The man who once smiled like a snake now looked like a tired, broken dog.
And deep down,
I liked it, but I wasn't done. Angela called later that night. "We have a new problem," she said. "What now?" "He tried to file a complaint against you. Said you tricked him into signing the loan. Claimed it was your idea, and he was just helping." I almost dropped the phone. "You're kidding." "Don't worry," she said. "It won't hold up. His documents are a mess. Signatures don't match, and the notary stamp is fake. But he's trying to flip it. He's desperate." I knew then that this wasn't just going to be about getting revenge. This was going to be war. He wasn't just a con artist. He was dangerous. And I had to be smarter than him every step of the way. So I started digging deeper. I wanted to know who helped him. No way he pulled this off alone. And I was right. There was a notary listed on the mortgage paperwork, a guy named Brian Evers. I looked him up. Small-time notary in a strip mall outside Cincinnati. Angela ran his info. Guess what? He was suspended 6 months ago for faking documents. No valid license. Which meant the entire deal. Invalid. Not legally binding. The house
could be seized.
And Daryl? He was about to find out what that really meant. Because I wasn't just taking him down anymore. I was burning every bridge he ever walked on. And I was just getting started. About a week after I found out about the fake notary, things started unraveling faster than I thought they would. Angela filed a formal affidavit with the lender, proving the notarization on the deed was fraudulent. That immediately triggered an internal review with the mortgage company's fraud unit. The bank froze the loan, froze the disbursements, and started building their own legal case. Then I got a call from a private investigator. Apparently, the lender hired him to get a better picture of what went down. He said they had questions about Daryl's income, job history, and how he was able to qualify using my documents. I told them everything. Sent emails, bank statements, and the text messages he used to send me asking for my pay stubs for something he was working on. I kept it all. Every receipt. Every damn lie. By that Friday, Ashley had officially moved out of the house. I know, because I drove by during my lunch break. Everything was in the front yard, couches, TV, even some of her clothes in black garbage bags. She was standing on the porch screaming into her phone, mascara running down her face. I parked a few houses down and watched. I didn't feel bad. Then came the next twist. I got a letter in the mail from a credit card company, one I didn't even use. Apparently, there was a recent application for a card in my name. And it had been approved. $7,500 limit. I never applied for it. I called the number. Asked where the application came from. They told me it was submitted online. 2 weeks ago. While Daryl was still living under my roof. That's when I realized. He wasn't just using my name for that one house. He was trying to open up more accounts. Get more money.
Milk me dry.
I called Angela immediately. "We're adding identity theft to the police report," she said. "This changes everything. He's not just some loser boyfriend. He's a criminal." She filed the updated report with the Columbus Police Department and forwarded it to the DA's office. I also called the credit card company, told them it was fraud. They canceled it and flagged the account. But then things got worse. I came home one night and found my front door slightly open, just cracked. Nothing inside looked touched. My TV was still there. Jewelry.
Laptop.
But something felt wrong. I checked the hallway closet. That's where I kept the file box with all the legal documents. Everything about the house, the mortgage, the police report, Ashley's messages, the photos.
Gone.
That box was gone. I stood there frozen for a minute. Then I checked the rest of the apartment. My bedroom drawers? Tossed through. Kitchen? Nothing missing. Back window? Unlocked. I knew who it was. Daryl. I called the cops. They came, wrote a report, said there were no signs of forced entry. I told them I locked the door when I left. He must have had a spare key. I told them he was already under investigation. They added it to the report, but didn't do much else. After they left, I changed the locks that night, bought cameras, got a security system installed the next morning. I wasn't playing anymore. Then Angela called again. "You're not going to believe this." I was afraid to ask. "What?" He tried to file for a homestead exemption on the house. I blinked. "Wait, what?" "It's a tax form. If you own and live in a house as your primary residence, you can file for a property tax exemption." He tried to make it look like he lives there legally.
Yep.
"He filed under your name." That was it. This wasn't just about a house anymore. This man was trying to become me. I called the fraud detective handling the case and told him everything about the break-in, the missing files, the fake credit card, the tax form. He listened quietly. Then he said something I'll never forget. "This guy's got a pattern. He's done this before." We pulled up an old report out of Toledo. Same memo. Used a woman's name to get a car, utilities, ran up a credit card, then disappeared when it all came crashing down. My blood ran cold. That woman had dropped the case. Wouldn't testify. Ended up with her credit ruined. Not me. I wasn't going to let him walk away this time. I told the detective, "Tell me what you need. I'll give you everything. I'll testify. I'll show up in court. I'm not scared of him anymore." He paused. "You might be the first woman to bring him down." Then came the final twist. I found out he had another girlfriend. A third one. This one lived in Dayton. She had no idea about me or Ashley. I only found out because she messaged me on Facebook one night. Said she found my name on the house paperwork and Googled me. Said she thought something was off for months. He never let her visit the house, always said it was being worked on. She thought it was weird that the mortgage emails had a woman's name on them. Her name was Teresa. She was older, mid-40s.
Divorced.
Had 2 teenage kids. She told me he promised to move her into the house by the summer. She also told me she loaned him $6,000 to help fix the place up. That's when it hit me. He never loved any of us. He was flipping us like assets. One woman to get the mortgage, one to front him cash, one to play house in the meantime. He wasn't just a manipulator. He was running a damn scam. And he picked the wrong one to mess with. Because I wasn't just coming for revenge anymore. I was coming to end him. And the real payback was about to begin. I didn't sleep much the night Teresa messaged me. I stayed up reading everything she sent. Screenshots, texts, a photo of the $6,000 cashier's check she gave him, and even a voicemail where Daryl said, "Once the place is done, I want you and the boys there. That house is our fresh start." He said the same thing to Ashley. Hell, he said the same thing to me once 2 years ago. He just swapped out the names. That's when I knew what I had to do. This wasn't just about me getting my life back. This was about making sure no other woman ever went through what I did because of him. I called Teresa the next day. We talked for over an hour.
She cried.
She got angry. Then she agreed to help. I also reached out to Ashley. I didn't want to, but I had to. She answered this time. She was broken, bitter, but willing to talk. Once I showed her what Teresa had shared, her whole attitude changed. The three of us made a plan. Daryl had been playing us all like fools. So now we were going to make him the fool. In public. On paper. In court. Angela filed an emergency motion to subpoena the mortgage paperwork and attach it to the fraud investigation, the credit card application, the fake notary, the homestead exemption. All of it. But I had something even better.
Audio.
Teresa had been recording her phone calls with him the past few weeks. Said she had a feeling he was lying. And in one of them, clear as day, he said, "I used Dee's name to get it 'cause my credit's trash. She doesn't even know. She's clueless."
Boom. I sent that to the detective.
He forwarded it to the district attorney. 3 days later, they issued a warrant. They picked Daryl up outside of a CheckSmart on the west side of Columbus. He was trying to cash a personal check under the fake name he'd used on a different bank account. They got him on identity theft, mortgage fraud, forgery, and wire fraud. But the real beauty? They added conspiracy to defraud multiple individuals because of what he did to Teresa and Ashley too. He was done. He tried to post bail, but with his record, the judge denied it. Then the trial came. I showed up every day. Teresa sat next to me. Ashley showed up, too, on the last day, wearing all black like she was going to a funeral. In court, Daryl still tried to play the victim. Said I misunderstood. Said Teresa gave him the money willingly. Said Ashley knew what she was signing up for. Then they played the recording. The courtroom went dead silent. Even his lawyer looked down.
Guilty.
All charges. He was sentenced to 9 years in prison with no early release. But it didn't stop there. Angela filed a civil suit to remove my name from the mortgage and get damages. The lender dropped the loan entirely and blacklisted Daryl from ever borrowing again. The house was seized and sold at auction. The profit went to pay back part of what Teresa and I lost. Ashley didn't want a dime. She said, "I just wanted to see his face when it all collapsed." After it all ended, I moved. Got a new apartment. Smaller, but safer. Simpler. I started going to therapy. I was angry for a long time. Not just at him, but at myself for missing the signs, for being so blind. But you know what? I came out stronger. I didn't just survive him. I erased him. And the best part? Daryl wrote me a letter from prison. Said he was sorry. Said he wasn't in his right mind. Said he still thinks about me. I didn't respond. Instead, I took the letter, scanned it, and added it to the file I keep in my closet marked lessons. Because that's what he is now. A lesson. And I'll never forget it. Final karma roundup. Daryl, convicted on multiple counts, sentenced to 9 years. Blacklisted from all lending institutions. Lost the house. Lost the money. Lost every woman he ever lied to. Ashley left the house before it got seized. Never got her fairy tale ending, but she learned to spot a con. She started dating again. Slowly. On her terms. Teresa got $4,000 back from the civil suit. Said it wasn't about the money. Said he lied to my kids. She's in counseling now with them. They're healing. Me. I got my credit fixed. Got his name wiped from my records. Got justice. Got peace. And one night, I stood in front of a mirror, looked at myself, and said, "You weren't weak. You were strong enough to stay standing when everything fell apart." That was the real revenge. I lived. He didn't.